First thing that comes to mind is freedom. To be able to create, the freedom to create. And when you create something, you're just free to express yourself. And that's what I love about being creative. I spend a lot of my day creating. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm creating it for, but my mind is always working in a creative manner. I'll hear a song and I'll think, oh, I need to remember that song because I'm going to use it someday, somewhere for something. It's a hypnosis show, if I'm going to sing the song, if I'm going to dance to it, something. Or I'll hear somebody say, someone talking, or someone will be talking to me, and I'll say, oh, I like what you just said. I'm going to write that down because I want to remember it. Being creative is just a wonderful, wonderful way to live my life. I try to live my life to where I am bringing positive energy to others. I've had experiences in my life in my past where I felt that a certain moment was perhaps the reason I was even born. And I know that sounds a little kind of, ooh, you know, but I try to pay goodness forward. I try to pay positivity forward. And if there's some person that's, you know, I don't know, for example, there was a lady, one time I was walking and there was a lady and I could see that there was something wrong with her and her shopping cart, and I went out of my way to walk over there, and there was this little gorgeous elderly lady that her sleeve was caught and she could not get herself unattached from this shopping cart. So I went over there and I just helped her, and I thought, okay, that was my purpose for today. And it felt good, and she was, you know, really, really grateful. And I didn't do it for me. I didn't do it for anyone, but just to help her. One time I was sitting in a bank, and I was going through a divorce, and I was tired, and it was a long day, and I still had to work. And for no reason at all, when they said, who's next? I said, well, you know, this gentleman, you know, go ahead. And he looked at me like no one had ever been kind to him in his entire life. And this was the first time it ever happened. And the exchange between us, the unspoken words, obviously I will never forget it. It was so wonderful, and it felt so good. And I knew that that was something that he obviously needed. I didn't know it before, but once I saw his reaction to it, I realized, wow, that there's no reason in this world that we can't be kind and nice to other people. I mean, I think everyone should try it at least once a day, just to see how that works for you. And I guarantee you it's going to work really, really good. I was asked to be one of the added girls in a Hawaiian luau show by a woman, and her name was Bunny Adams. I met her in New Orleans, and she needed some extra girls to fill out the stage for the 1-year anniversary of her boyfriend's nightclub. So, of course, I said yes, you know. And the moment I got on stage, now keep in mind, I was way in the back because I was one of the new girls, and I had this little corner of the stage that was maybe about the size of this chair. And I'm looking down, and the feeling I had, I just knew that this was something I was going to be doing for the rest of my life. There was no question about it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. This was it. And I've been doing it ever since. And it's been amazing. And I've had a lot of people say, oh, you know, it's a hard road, and it's you're never going to really make any money. You're not going to be famous. You're not going to be successful. Well, for me, it's never really been about fame and success to the top. You know, I mean, of course you want to be successful, and you do have to be somewhat well known to be hired and get more work and things like that. But for me, it's always just, I want to be in the mix. You know, I want to be a performer. I want to be a working performer. And I want to bring positive energy and happiness to people and make them laugh and have a good time and forget their troubles for a little while and go on and enjoy the rest of their night or day. And so far, so good. It's worked out. Believe in yourself. If this is something you want to do, then do it. Don't let anyone tell you no. Don't let anyone discourage you, because really in the end, you're only really responsible for your own choices. Now, if you take this road and you succeed, wonderful. If you take this road and you fail, at least you tried. But if you don't take this road because of what someone else said, you are going to wonder for the rest of your life, could I have been? What would have happened? And you don't want to have those regrets. If anything, regret trying and not succeeding, but don't regret not trying, because you'll never know if you would have succeeded. I had so many people tell me, why are you moving to Las Vegas? Why are you doing that? You know, there's so many people out there. Well, yes. And 14 years later, I'm still out here, and I'm still working, and I'm very successful in my chosen career, and I keep reinventing myself. But I would tell that little girl, enjoy it. Enjoy that little hairbrush. Enjoy those moments in the mirror singing to Katy Perry or whomever you're singing to. But just believe in yourself, and you'll go much further than you ever even imagined. I do not recommend anyone just turning over their career to an agent or a manager and just not realizing what's going on the business side. I know a lot about production. I know a lot about the technical aspect of things. I know a lot about negotiating and contracts and making the calls and things like that. It's been very, very helpful to be on both sides of the camera, if you will, both sides of the stage. If you don't know at least something about what other people are doing, like you're saying, the business end of it, you kind of get caught up in your own little area of entertainment, if you will, and you can lose focus. You can lose track of what this is really about. And it is a business. I might be talented hypnotists and working all the time, but if I don't respect the people that are around me, I'm not going to work very long. If I don't understand the business that actually got me on the stage, I'm not going to work very long. It's very important to learn about the business aspect of it. Sure, I have agents. I've never had a manager, but I've had agents that have worked for me. I have agents that are working for me now. I do book myself on some occasions, but it's very important to understand the business aspect of it as much as you possibly can. I'm not saying go out and negotiate all your own contracts, because that's not always the best thing to do. But it will give you a better respect and understanding of what's going on. I could say, what's the alternative? The alternative is just to lay in bed and wallow in what? Negativity. Who wants to do that? I'm not saying never do it. There are going to be days where you just want to, But I always know, and I can always remember how I feel after I've had the experience of either performing or having a interaction with another human being. I always feel better. I always feel good. I always feel lighter. So for me, it's just really holding on to that knowledge and the truth for me that if I say, get up, get dressed, get going. It's that simple. You get up, you get dressed, and you go. And no matter where you go, I should say, no matter where I go, I feel better. Make sense? I just by being proud of myself for getting up and getting out and getting my day started. It's been difficult at times. My mother's elderly. She's in a group home. I've had pets pass away right before and I find out right before I go on stage. My mentor, the lady I was just telling you about, she passed away, and I had to miss her funeral for a show that I was performing in. It was the opening night, and but you you have to coexist with things like that. Just like everyone. Anyone who has any job, you have to coexist with the negative things that come into everyone's life. But like I said, what's the choice? You know, you can either wallow or go forth. And I choose to go forth. I love being a hypnotist. I love performing on stage. I also do seminars, and I love when the people come up to me afterwards and either share their experience or previous experience with hypnosis, or if they say, this was the very first time I did get hypnotized in your seminar and it felt great and I want to learn more about it. I love things like that. But I am working on a keynote speech. I want to become a speaker for people in need. And I'm working on honing that and defining that more specifically. And once I find that specific topic, I'm going to run with it. I think it's very important to, you know, like I said earlier, positive energy and just pay it forward. That's what I'd like to do. I am Kellie Karl, and that's my chapter and verse.